Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, your Stampin' Chick, here with another Make It Monday. I hope that you're all having a fabulous Monday today, my friends. Hope that you had a fantastic weekend. My weekend was super busy. We had our Stampin' Bingo on Saturday, and I don't mind telling you that it wore me out, but we had so much fun. So today's project is a double easel card. Now, I'm hoping that it'll be easy for you to see, but basically it has the standard card base, the vertical card base. So this is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. And so we've got the standard card base you see there. And then we have this additional layer on the front that makes a second easel. So it's called a double easel card. And it sits up like this, vaguely. So let me tell you what you need. First of all, you need your 4 1/4 by 11 inch card base. Then you're also going to need a piece that is 4 inches by 10 1/4 inches. And this one you're going to score at 2 1/2 and then again at 5. And you'll burnish it in a Z-fold pattern. And then you're also going to need, you could use either DSP, Designer Series paper, or cardstock. I chose to use the Good Morning Magnolia or Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper because I am absolutely in love with this suite. So these measurements are 3 3/4 across, and this one is 5 inches long, and these two are 3 3/4 inches across by 2 1/4 inches long or tall. So 3 3/4 by 5, 3 3/4 by 2 1/4, and that gives you all those pieces. And then the inside layer is the standard 4 by 5 1/4. Had to think about that for a second. 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so you're also going to need some scraps of white paper to stamp your images with and to make your label. And then I also used some of the Magnolia Lane ribbon, and that finished it off very nicely. So let me go ahead and show you my pieces. There's the card base at 4 1/4 by 11. Here's the white layer that is 4 inches by 10 1/4, scored at 2 1/2 and 5 inches. There's my 3 3/4 by 5 inch panel. My two 3 3/4 by 2 1/4 inch panels. My 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. And then, for time's sake, I went ahead and stamped and cut the magnolias because you guys know my table's wonky and it wobbles, and I didn't want to do that to you. But I do have a video showing how I color the magnolia. I'm going to do it for you real quick today with the card, but you'll be able to go over to the video and check it out if you want to. Okay, first things first, let's take our card base and we're going to fold and burnish. Give it a nice crisp edge. And then we're going to take this layer and we're going to put it into the Z-fold pattern. So you can fold it up on that first line and then fold it back on the other, or however you want to look at it. But basically you want it to make the Z pattern. Okay, so then we're going to take our snail adhesive and we're going to put just a bit here on the bigger section. Don't go over the edge, please. There we go. Make sure I've got the upright side. That's always important Okay, and I'm gonna line that up and burnish it down real well. There we go. Now I'm gonna take the 3 3/4 by 5" piece, and I'm going to do the same thing. Put a little adhesive, and I think I like it that way. So let's put that on the card. There we go. And then while we have that open, let's run a little adhesive across this panel and put this one on here. There we go. And then let's put this one on here. There we go. Okay, now we have our card base done. So we have the first easel and the second easel. Alright, now I'm going to give it just a little burnish so that it stays semi-flat. There we go. Okay, now let me go ahead and put this panel inside. Now, this weekend at the bingo event, I had a customer ask me the differences between the Stampin' Write markers and the Stampin' Blends, and among other things, one of the big differences between the markers and the blends is that the blends will bleed through. So if you're coloring directly on a card base where you're going to be able to see the backside, I don't recommend using the blends because it will bleed through. It's absolutely beautiful for coloring. It's the best for coloring. But I would definitely only use them if you're going to layer them. So as you can see, I'm layering it onto the dark, this is Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and then I had cut these out individually and colored them, but see, it bleeds through. So I'm going to be layering them on so they won't show through the white, so it doesn't matter. But just so that you're aware of that, that is something to think about when you're using colors, whether you're going to use the Stampin' Write markers or the Stampin' Blend. So I'm going to take my light soft suede, and I'm just going to color the stem, and then I'm going to come back with the bullet tip on the dark soft suede and just fill in some shadowy spaces. And then on the leaves, I'm using Mossy Meadow, and I found that if I color the base of the leaf and then just kind of work my way up, and on the big one you really need to do each leaf individually so that you get the colors blended well. On the little ones, you can kind of fudge that a little, but use the light Mossy Meadow to fill in the spaces. And right now I'm just kind of lightly going over it, but then I'm going to go back over the darker spots so that I can blend that in a little bit more so I don't have those harsh lines. Like you can see right there, it's a little bit harsh. So I'm just filling in the space for right now. And then I'm coming back over those spots. There we go. See how it just fades it out? I love that. Okay, now let's do the next one. So starting down at the base of the leaf and fill in across the base, and then just kind of work your way up. Doesn't have to be a specific straight line. In fact, you don't want straight lines. So I like to use that little zigzag type pattern so that it helps soften the lines a little bit better when I come back over it. And there we go. Next, fill in the base, and then to the middle. And then we're using our light to go back over it, paying extra special attention to the edges so that we can help fade it together. There we go. Next, hope that you guys are enjoying all of the Good Morning Magnolia and Magnolia Lane products and stamping that I know you've been seeing all over the internet. It is absolutely stunning. This is truly my all-time favorite bundle, my all-time favorite suite, actually. I am totally and completely in love with the Magnolia Lane suite in general. I just absolutely love it. In our new beginners, what is it called? Express Creativity brochure. It's our beginner stampers brochure. It breaks down a few simple kits that are easy to figure out what you want to order. And it has a smaller stamp set that goes along with the Good Morning Magnolia. It's called Magnolia Blooms, and it has a couple of smaller Magnolia stamps and a few simple sentiments, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to use the Dark Daffodil Delight to come in here and do that center section. And the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set actually is a 2-pack set, and it's so gorgeous. I mean, you can see how big that Magnolia stamp is. I mean, it's massive. And then the smaller one, and the sentiments are beautiful. I mean, I just love it. And with the Magnolia Bloom set, it is so pretty, and it just completes the whole thing. It's fabulous. Alright, now I'm going to use the Dark Petal Pink, and with this one, I'm just adding some highlight colors to the bottom of the petals. So I'm going to go along the bases of the petals, and where there's a line going up from the petal, I'm going to follow that line a little bit. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'm just trying to stay along the edges. I'm not trying to color in the entire stamp, or the entire image rather. I'm just trying to color in a little bit of highlight color, so to speak. And now you see here, I'm going to go ahead and do a little up here. And then the same here. And then I'm just going to follow that up like so. And then remember that the petals down here are headed the other direction. So while you were doing them on this side, now you want to do them on this side. So don't color the tops of the petals on this end, but the bottoms of the petals on the other end. That wouldn't look quite right. There we go. It's okay to turn your work. I like using those lines for a textile point. There we go. I'm going to come in here, add just a little. There we go. This has no right or wrong. This is just whatever you want your magnolias to look like. I'm going to come in here and do a little bit right there. And there we go. There's our magnolia. That was super simple, wasn't it? Okay, now let's get this put together. Oh, hold on. I almost forgot the sentiment on the outside. Okay, I'm using the Blackberry Bliss ink so that it goes well with the outside of the card. I'm using the Thinking of You sentiment. I'm just going to try to keep my head out of the way and stamp in the center. That's pretty good. And then I'm going to use the Everyday Label Punch. And my piece of paper is not quite as wide as the punch, but that's okay. I'm just going to line it up so that there's an equal distance of gap here. Let's see. You know what? That's not really lined up as straight as I'd like it to be. It's a little more to the bottom than the top, so I'm going to restamp it. Okay, let me get this a little closer. Give me just one moment. You know how we get when we like it to be just right. Okay, there we go. I think that's better. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm leaving just a little bit of gap on either of the top and the bottom. And we're good. Now, I really like taking the Stampin' Blends and just working my way around the edge of the card. It gives me a nice border of color, and it's super simple to do, especially when I've already got my blends out. I just love it. So, let me do that. Easy peasy. There we go. And you know, July is the bonus days where you buy $50 worth of products and you get a $5 coupon code for free. And as it happens, the Good Morning Magnolia bundle satisfies that requirement. So if you're inclined to buy the Magnolia bundle, you can get it now before the end of July and get $5 back to spend next month, which is super fabulous. I love when I get money back, especially when it's on something I was going to purchase anyway. That's always handy, isn't it? And then, if that wasn't fabulous enough, we still have our extra promotion, which is the recruiting promotion. If you'd like to get the ultimate bundle, is normally $125 worth of product for $99. You can now get $155 worth of products for the same $99, which is absolutely fabulous. And then next month, you'll get a coupon code for an additional $10, which is even better. I love that. I'm using the Magnolia Lane ribbon. And let me just snip this off and snip it here. There we go. I think this ribbon is so pretty. It's really soft and it has just a little pop of color. Alright, now I'm gonna put this, hold on here. Let me raise this ribbon up just a little bit because I actually don't want this to stick to the ribbon. I want it just below. Here we go. Very good. And now I'm gonna put a dimensional behind each of my magnolias. There we go. I want one of them right there and the other one up here. Now the only thing I want to be careful about, which I have to adjust there, is that I need to make sure that my dimensionals are underneath the edge of that crease right there, and I also need to be very careful that I follow the boundaries of the Blackberry Bliss, because if I want to mail this off, I need it to stay fitted in there. We want to make sure we remember that with this magnolia as well. Now, I did go a little crazy on the dimensionals with this magnolia. You guys know that I typically try to be fairly frugal with things, but the magnolia is so big. I mean, look at that. It's as big as my hand. So it's a really big piece, and it requires multiple dimensionals to keep it from sagging. Because we don't want it to sag, do we? Alright, there we go. Okay, now am I within my parameters? Yes, I am, pretty much. And there we go. Beautiful, stunning magnolia. I love it. Alright, now let's go on the inside, and I'm going to use this stamp. It says, not only for what you do, but for being someone so special. So it says, thinking of you. No, that's not the one I want. I'm sorry. That's not the one I want. I wasn't even paying attention. I want this one. It says, thinking of you on the outside, and the journey of life is best shared with a friend. We'll get through this together. Isn't that sweet? I love the sentiments in this set. They are absolutely adorable. And I've not seen any other stamp sets that have these really genuine sentiments. I love them. Alright, here we go. Let me try to get this as straight as I can. And there we are. Alright, friends, there we have it. Fabulous, beautiful Magnolia Lane Good Morning Magnolia stamp set. Super quick, super simple, very easy, beautiful, beautiful card. I hope that you've enjoyed this, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and tutorial. If you'd like to order any of the Good Morning Magnolia, Magnolia Lane products, you can go to my website at danasullivan.stampinup.net, and I'd love for you to follow my blog, thestampinchick.blogspot.net. Sorry, .blogspot.com. And follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest by searching The Stampin' Chick. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye!